And this is my coming out story. I'm a tad ill, so keep it short. Well, when I was a little, I always knew I wasn't normal. Getting into the normal binaries of male and female. Because as I'm trans, I was assigned female at birth. I always identified with male. Like, I used to play with boys, I used to act like one of the boys. How my family used to call me tomboy. And that's why I just thought I was a tomboy. Because when you're young, you don't know anything to do with gays, transsexuals, transgenders and that, because it's not taught in schools. And obviously there's male and female bathrooms and that. And then, as I said, growing up, I used to do swimming. And I didn't like having to wear a costume, because I was like, well, I'm not a girl, obviously. I want to be a boy. Because they wore swimming trunks, and I used to get changed in the male changing rooms with my dad, because I was too young to go into the females on my own. So I used to always feel comfortable, but then as I got older, obviously I had to move into the female ones. And so, like, I used to see women naked. I was like, that's not me, because I had flat chest at that point, and I used to always go into cubicle, be shy, and didn't really like getting changed. But I was a fairly good swimmer, so I carried it on for a few years, I think, and then I quit because I got bored and I was turned out to be shy. And then as I started growing up, like in year 7, year 8, and that, I was questioning my sexuality. I was like, well, I'm definitely not straight, because like you always know if you're not straight, because you're like, oh, girls are hot, but then I was like, oh, boys are hot. But then I came out as bi in my first high school, and I got targeted for it, basically. So that was fun. But then, as I moved to a different high school, I suddenly realised, after meeting other gay people and that, and after doing little research into my symptoms, see if I was mentally ill, I found the word transgender. And I was like, that sounds a lot like me. And so obviously I was like, I might be a trans person. So I told a couple of my friends, they were like, oh, that's cool, because they were very accepting. And I was like, well, which name do you like? And at first I was like, Dean. I like the name Dean. And so as soon as I told them, they were like, Dean. I was like, this is more me. But then I started getting depression and not feeling like I wanted to go to school, because I kept getting called my birth name and that. So I went to my personal coach, Mr. Gallagher, and he just explained that obviously he didn't know much about it, so he got me in touch with Gliss, which is my gay group. I don't know why I call it gay group, but it's my gay group. And then I had a couple of meetings with my youth leader, Paul, and he was just very accepting, like, yeah, you can come along on Wednesdays and that. And I went there was only like 2 of us there, and I was like, oh, this is really intimidating, because I was like, But then, as I went more and more often, more people turned up, like Aiden, who was pretty awesome. And then more people turned up, like Charlie and Emma and Jordan, and they were all really accepting about me. And I started learning more about genders and sexualities. And then I was like, well, I'm not bi, I'm more pansexual. Because, like, we went to a residential, and there was like multiple genders there, like gender fluid and that I'd never realised was a gender, because no one tells you this and that. So I was like, pretty hot people who are gender fluid, wouldn't mind dating them. So I was like, I'm pansexual. So that's why I identify as now. And so after a couple of months of going, I wrote a letter to my mum, and she was like, no. I was like, okay. Because when I first came out, I was really scared and anxious. She was like, no, you're not. I was like, okay, I'm not. like trying to suppress it. And at this point, she didn't know me going to group was because I was trans and gay, and that she just thought it was a youth group. I kept going, and I was like, no, I definitely am. So I told her again a couple of months down the line, and now she's more accepting of it, and she's more questioning. Like, she's not fully accepted it, but like it's making progress. Like when I wear a binder, and like she's like, why? And then asking questions about that and that. So I'm like, well, because I feel more comfortable with this. She's still not using the name and pronouns Spencer and he, him, but we're still making progress. She still likes me having feminine aspects, which I don't mind doing, just not makeup and that. She likes me wearing not too masculine clothes. I mean, like, she doesn't like me wearing shirt and tie, but like this and jeans and that, she's fine with. So yeah, progress is pretty good. My family pretty accepting of it. They don't mind me being more masculine than feminine and that. So yeah, pretty good. Just that at first it got a bit depressing because I didn't think they would accept me in that. Because when you like go on YouTube and that, you Google coming out stories, and some of them are like really really good, and some of them are really bad. You never see ones in the middle where they progress. So I think mine's a progress one. So in time it'll get better. She doesn't want me having surgery though until I'm older, because she doesn't want me to change my body and regret it. So yeah, that's my coming out story. Probably update it in a bit, but it's getting on to 7 minutes long, and I don't think anyone will be really interested in it. So I'm Spencer. Goodbye. It's not recording.